A company sold 50,000 electric knives that caught fire when used on frozen food before the Consumer Product Safety Commission banned them in 1974. Manufacturers distributed 2 million pressure cookers that exploded with enough force to embed the lid in the ceiling before recalls began. Someone invented a microwave egg cooker that turned eggs into grenades, launching shrapnel across kitchens in 47 states. What you are about to hear are 44 actual kitchen gadgets that companies designed, manufactured, sold to the public, and then regulators frantically banned after discovering they caused fires, explosions, amputations, and occasionally death. And number 23 will make you question how any of these passed initial safety testing. If you have ever wondered why modern kitchen gadgets come with 17 warning labels, hit subscribe because this is why we can't have nice things. Drop a comment with the most dangerous kitchen tool you own. We are documenting humanity's complicated relationship with sharp objects and electricity. Number 44. The salad shooter was a motorized food processor shaped like a gun that shot shredded vegetables across countertops at high velocity. Presto sold over 3 million units in the 1980s, despite the device regularly jamming and spraying hot motor oil mixed with food particles directly at users' faces. When the motor overheated, which happened frequently, the plastic housing melted and dripped onto food. The Consumer Product Safety Commission received 847 injury reports before implementing design changes. America mass-produced a vegetable gun that contaminated food with motor lubricant and called it convenient. Number 43. The MicroMaster egg cooker promised perfect microwave eggs but turned them into pressure bombs. Eggs cooked in the sealed container built up steam pressure with no release valve. When users opened the lid, superheated steam and boiling egg matter exploded outward, causing second-degree burns. Over 2,300 injury reports led to a recall of 650,000 units in 1991. The instructions warned against this exact scenario, but people ignored warnings about egg grenades. Someone designed an egg cooker that weaponized breakfast. Number 42. The Ronco inside-the-shell egg scrambler was a motorized needle that penetrated eggshells to scramble eggs before cooking. The needle frequently broke off inside eggs, and users bit into scrambled eggs containing metal shards. Over 100 people required emergency dental work or surgery to remove swallowed needle fragments. Ronco issued a recall but defended the design, claiming proper usage prevented needle breakage. They built an egg scrambler that contaminated food with metal shrapnel and blamed user error. Number 41. Electric fondue pots in the 1970s used open heating elements that ignited cooking oil, causing kitchen fires. The pots had no automatic shutoff, and oil frequently overheated past its flash point. Fire departments responded to over 5,000 fondue-related house fires between 1973 and 1976. Manufacturers added safety features only after insurance companies threatened to drop coverage for fondue pot owners. America turned melted cheese into a fire hazard. Number 40. The Popeil Pocket Fisherman was marketed as a kitchen tool for cleaning fish, but the retractable blade mechanism frequently failed, snapping closed on users' fingers. Over 800 people required stitches from the spring-loaded blade. The mechanism used tension springs that weakened over time, making blade closure unpredictable. Ronco settled multiple lawsuits but never recalled the product. They sold a fish scaler that amputated fingertips and kept selling it. Number 39. Teflon-coated cookware from the 1960s released toxic fumes when overheated above 500 degrees Fahrenheit. The fumes killed pet birds instantly and caused flu-like symptoms in humans called Teflon flu. DuPont knew about the toxicity since 1961, but didn't warn consumers until the EPA intervened in 2005. Over 40 years passed between discovery and disclosure. America coated cookware with chemicals that killed pets and gave people flu symptoms, then took 4 decades to mention it. Number 38. The As Seen on TV turbo cooker was a pressure cooker with a faulty safety valve that allowed pressure to exceed safe limits. The lids launched like missiles when the vessel failed, embedding in ceilings and walls. At least 15 people suffered severe burns when superheated contents sprayed across kitchens. The product was recalled in 2008 after 83 injury reports in 6 months. Someone built a pressure cooker with a defective safety mechanism and was surprised when it became a kitchen rocket. Number 37. Electric carving knives in the 1970s had exposed blade mechanisms that continued running for several seconds after the power button released. Users assumed the blade stopped when they released the button and immediately suffered lacerations. Emergency room data showed a 300% increase in kitchen cutting injuries during the electric knife boom. Manufacturers eventually added blade breaks, but only after thousands of injuries. America automated knife injuries. Number 36. The Nicer Dicer hand crank vegetable chopper had blade guards that frequently detached during use, exposing rotating razor blades spinning at high speed. Users reached in to clear jammed vegetables and lost fingertips. The product was recalled 3 separate times for safety modifications, but remained available for purchase between recalls. They built a finger-removing vegetable chopper and kept tweaking the design instead of discontinuing it. Number 35. Aluminum pressure cookers from the 1950s were prone to catastrophic failure because the metal fatigued over time. The vessels would explode without warning, spraying boiling contents and metal fragments across kitchens. Over 200 people died from pressure cooker explosions before stainless steel models became standard. Manufacturers knew aluminum was unsuitable but continued production because it was cheaper. America used exploding cookware for decades because steel cost more. Number 34. The Frybaby deep fryer had no thermostat and routinely heated oil to combustion temperatures. The device caused over 3,000 kitchen fires between 1978 and 1982. Users had no way to monitor oil temperature and frequently walked away while it heated. The lack of an automatic shutoff meant fires started regularly. Presto added temperature controls only after facing massive liability lawsuits. They sold a deep fryer with no temperature regulation and expected users to monitor boiling oil constantly. Number 33. George Foreman grills from early production runs had faulty electrical insulation, causing units to short-circuit and catch fire. Over 90,000 units were recalled in 2002 after 200 fire reports. The drip tray positioned directly below the heating element frequently overflowed, and grease contacted exposed wiring. Users discovered their grills were fire hazards when kitchens started burning. America's favorite infomercial grill occasionally became an inferno. Number 32. The Veg-O-Matic was a manual slicer with exposed razor blades and no handguard. Users pushed vegetables directly toward the blades using their bare hands. Emergency room physicians reported an epidemic of Veg-O-Matic fingers in the 1960s. Ronco sold 11 million units before adding a handguard after thousands of injuries. They mass-produced a device that directed hands toward razor blades and called it innovation. Number 31. Microwave bacon cookers were plastic trays with hanging racks that frequently melted from bacon grease. Melted plastic dripped into food while releases toxic fumes. The plastic was not rated for the temperatures bacon fat reached during cooking. Manufacturers recalled multiple models after determining the plastic was fundamentally unsuitable. Someone decided bacon grease and flammable plastic were compatible materials. Number 30. But here is where it gets genuinely unhinged. The Presto Fry Daddy electric deep fryer sold over 1 million units, despite having no lid, no temperature control, and no automatic shutoff. Users filled it with oil, plugged it in, and it heated oil until either unplugged or the oil caught fire, whichever came first. The Consumer Product Safety Commission received over 5,000 reports of oil fires between 1976 and 1985. Presto's official position was that users should monitor the oil temperature manually and unplug the device when it reached frying temperature. They expected millions of home cooks to stand over boiling oil with a thermometer and manually manage an appliance that cost $12. When pressed about safety features, Presto argued that adding a thermostat would increase the retail price by $3 and harm sales. They chose market share over automatic shutoff systems. The truly remarkable part is the Fry Daddy is still sold today with minimal safety improvements because it's grandfathered under old safety standards. America has spent 50 years selling a deep fryer with no safety features because adding a thermostat would cost $3. Number 29. The Oster Kitchen Center was a multifunction appliance where attachments frequently detached during operation, sending blades and beaters flying across kitchens. The locking mechanism wore out after minimal use, making attachment ejection increasingly likely. Oster settled dozens of injury lawsuits but never issued a full recall. They built an appliance that launched its own attachments like projectiles. Number 28. Plastic colanders from the 1970s were made with materials that warped and melted when exposed to boiling pasta water. The colanders collapsed while users drained pasta, dumping boiling water and food. Thousands suffered burns before manufacturers switched to heat-resistant plastics. Someone made pasta strainers that melted when exposed to pasta temperatures. Number 27. The Seal-A-Meal vacuum sealer had heating elements that frequently overheated and melted the plastic housing. The device would fuse shut while operating, trapping the heating element in the on position. Multiple house fires started from Seal-A-Meals that couldn't be turned off. The recall in 1995 covered 400,000 units. They built a sealing machine that sealed itself into a permanent heating state. Number 26. Automatic can openers in the 1960s had exposed gears that caught hair, clothing, and fingers. The devices continued operating when objects became caught, pulling users into the mechanism. Hospital emergency departments treated dozens of degloving injuries and scalping incidents. Manufacturers added safety guards only after graphic injury photographs appeared in consumer safety publications. They built can openers that scalped people. Number 25. The Ginsu knife set was marketed with demonstrations showing the knives cutting through metal cans and rope. Users tried replicating these stunts and the knives frequently shattered, sending metal fragments into eyes and skin. The hardened steel was brittle and prone to catastrophic failure under stress. Ginsu faced hundreds of product liability lawsuits. They advertised knife durability, then sold knives that exploded into shrapnel when stressed. Number 24. Electric woks from the 1970s had heating elements that shorted when exposed to moisture from cooking. The woks would shock users or catch fire when liquid contacted the electrical components. Despite being cooking vessels designed for wet ingredients, they weren't waterproofed. Over 2,000 units were recalled after electrocution injuries. Someone built an electric cooking vessel that electrocuted people when food moisture touched electricity. Number 23. The Sunbeam Mixmaster had a design flaw where the beaters could be inserted incorrectly, causing them to collide and shatter during operation. Metal beater fragments launched across kitchens at high velocity. Sunbeam recalled 700,000 units in 1984 after 400 injury reports including multiple eye injuries. The beaters could only be inserted one way correctly, but the design allowed incorrect installation. They built a mixer that destroyed itself when assembled wrong. Number 22. Microwave popcorn poppers were plastic bowls that concentrated microwave energy, creating hot spots that melted the plastic. Melted plastic mixed with popcorn and users consumed it before noticing. Multiple poppers were recalled for releasing toxic chemicals when overheated. Someone designed microwave cookware that melted in microwaves. Number 21. The Presto salad shooter had a feeder tube that users pushed vegetables through toward the spinning blades. Carrots and other hard vegetables frequently jammed, and users instinctively pushed harder. The increased force drove hands into the spinning blades. Emergency room data showed hundreds of salad shooter injuries requiring reconstructive hand surgery. They built a vegetable processor that encouraged users to force-feed their hands into spinning blades. Number 20. Electric ice cream makers had motors that overheated from the cold, causing electrical fires. The extreme temperature differential between the frozen ingredients and the hot motor created condensation that shorted circuits. Multiple models were recalled after spontaneous combustion incidents. Engineers designed a frozen dessert maker that caught fire from being cold. Number 19. The Black & Decker Spacemaker under-cabinet can opener had a mounting system that frequently failed, dropping the heavy appliance onto counters or users' heads. The mounting screws stripped out of cabinets over time. At least 30 people required stitches from falling can openers. Black & Decker issued reinforced mounting hardware but never recalled the original units. They hung can openers from cabinets knowing the mounts would eventually fail. Number 18. Mandolin slicers had adjustment mechanisms that loosened during use, causing the blade to shift unexpectedly. Users maintaining steady cutting pressure suddenly encountered changed blade angles, resulting in severe lacerations. Professional chefs' associations warned against several models. Despite warnings, the slicers remained popular because they were cheap. People kept buying finger slicing machines because they cost $12. Number 17. The Ronco Showtime rotisserie had a door latch that failed while chicken rotated at high speed inside. The door would swing open, and centrifugal force launched the entire chicken across kitchens. Hot chicken grease sprayed across rooms. Users suffered burns and property damage from airborne poultry. Ronco settled multiple lawsuits from chicken-related injuries. They built a rotisserie that ejected chickens like catapults. Number 16. Aluminum coffee percolators developed pinhole leaks from heat stress over time. The percolators sprayed boiling coffee across kitchens without warning. Thousands suffered burns before stainless steel became standard. Manufacturers knew aluminum degraded under heat cycling, but continued production for cost reasons. America used coffee makers that spontaneously perforated from normal use. Number 15. The Hamilton Beach Flex Brew had a brew basket that users removed while coffee was still hot. The basket had no heat warnings and scalded thousands of users. The recall covered 870,000 units in 2019. Hamilton Beach claimed users should have known hot coffee makers were hot. They built a coffee maker with a removable part that was always scalding hot. Number 14. Electric griddles had exposed heating elements under thin metal plates. When the metal warped from heat, which happened frequently, the elements touched users' hands. The griddles also lacked automatic temperature limiting, heating until the metal glowed red. Multiple models caused burns before safety standards improved. They sold cooking surfaces with exposed heating elements. Number 13. The Presto foldaway grill had hinges that failed when heated, causing the top grilling surface to collapse onto food and users' hands. The hinges were plastic and melted under normal operating temperatures. Presto recalled 300,000 units after dozens of burn injuries. They used plastic hinges on a device that reached 500 degrees. Number 12. Pressure cookers with jiggler-type pressure regulators frequently clogged from food particles, causing pressure to build beyond safe limits. The cookers exploded, spraying contents and metal fragments. Dozens of people died before modern pressure release valves became mandatory. Manufacturers knew jiggler valves clogged easily but used them because they were cheaper. America used pressure cookers with safety valves designed to fail. Number 11. The New Wave oven had a glass dome that shattered from thermal stress. The glass couldn't handle the temperature cycling and exploded during normal use. Users suffered lacerations from glass shrapnel mixed with hot food. New Wave recalled 300,000 units in 2010. They built an oven out of glass that couldn't handle oven temperatures. Number 10. Electric knife sharpeners had exposed grinding wheels spinning at 3,000 RPM with minimal guards. Users frequently contacted the wheels while sharpening, removing fingertips. The devices had no automatic shutoff when the safety guard was removed. Emergency room data showed consistent knife sharpener injuries. They sold finger grinding machines disguised as knife sharpeners. Number 9. The rival crockpot in early models had ceramic inserts that developed microfractures from thermal stress. The inserts shattered during cooking, spraying boiling food across kitchens. Rival recalled several models after determining the ceramic couldn't handle slow cooker temperatures long term. They made slow cookers from materials that broke from slow cooking. Number 8. Waffle irons with non-removable power cords frequently had the cords contact the hot cooking surface, melting the insulation and causing electrical shorts. Multiple models caused electrical fires. Manufacturers eventually used heat-resistant cords, but only after fires became common. They routed electrical wiring across hot surfaces and expected it not to melt. Number 7. The Osterversa blender had a blade assembly that unscrewed during operation if not tightened perfectly. The spinning blades would detach, launching through the pitcher and across kitchens. Oster recalled 370,000 units in 2013 after 33 injury reports. They built a blender where the blades could unscrew themselves during use. Number 6. Electric fondue forks had exposed electrical connections that shocked users when dipped in conductive cheese or oil. The forks were supposed to be used in liquid but weren't waterproofed. Multiple people were electrocuted before the products were discontinued. Someone electrified forks designed to be submerged in liquid. Number 5. The Hamilton Beach Stay or Go blender had a lid that detached under pressure from blending. Hot soup sprayed across users in kitchens. Hamilton Beach recalled 240,000 units in 2008 after hundreds of burn injuries. They built a blender with a lid that couldn't handle blending pressure. Number 4. Plastic cutting boards from the 1980s were made with materials that degraded into food. The plastic contained chemicals that leached into acidic foods like tomatoes. Studies found plastic particles in food prepared on the boards. Despite health concerns, the boards remained legal because they met standards written before plastic degradation was understood. America cut food on boards that dissolved into food. Number 3. The Sunbeam Vista toaster had a defect where the heating elements remained energized after the toast popped up. Reaching into the toaster shocked users. Sunbeam recalled 500,000 units in 2001 after electrocution reports. They built a toaster that electrocuted people removing toast. Number 2. The Faberware electric can opener had exposed gears that caught wedding rings, dragging users' fingers into the mechanism. Multiple people suffered degloving injuries requiring amputation. Faberware settled dozens of lawsuits but never recalled the product. They built a can opener that ripped wedding rings off fingers. Number 1. The Presto Fry Baby electric deep fryer, not to be confused with the Fry Daddy, had all the same safety failures, but was marketed to children as the fun fryer for kids. Presto advertised it as a device for children to make fried foods unsupervised. The product had no lid, no temperature control, and no automatic shutoff, identical to the adult version. Parents bought millions despite the device being 4 pounds of boiling oil marketed to children. When the Consumer Product Safety Commission challenged this, Presto argued that teaching children to manage hot oil built life skills. They sold a vat of boiling oil to children and called it educational. The truly remarkable part is Presto faced no legal consequences because no law specifically prohibited marketing deep fryers to minors. America spent the 1970s letting children operate devices that regularly caught fire when operated by adults. The Fry Baby was discontinued not because of safety concerns, but because liability insurance became impossible to obtain after the 7th house fire started by an unsupervised 10-year-old. So there you have it. 44 kitchen gadgets that companies designed, manufactured, sold to millions of people, and then regulators frantically banned after they caused fires, explosions, electrocutions, and amputations. We witnessed pressure cookers that launched through ceilings, blenders that ejected their own blades, and toasters that electrocuted people removing toast. Someone sold a deep fryer with no safety features to children and called it educational. Engineers repeatedly put exposed heating elements near electrical wiring, then acted shocked when fires started. These weren't prototype failures. These were mass-market products that families bought, used according to instructions, and still got injured. The truly remarkable part is not that these products failed. The truly remarkable part is they passed initial safety reviews and reached retail shelves despite being obviously dangerous. You are absolutely smarter for watching this, which means you have earned that like button. And subscribing ensures you will never buy a kitchen gadget without reading injury reports first. Comment with the most dangerous kitchen tool you own. We are documenting proof that product safety improved only after enough people got hurt. And if you think this is as dangerous as kitchen gadgets get, trust us, it only gets more ridiculous from here.